questions, but I kind of like what I'm doing right now. I think it'll be a lot easier to kind of keep the principles in mind as we go through. And I just wanted to add that these principles support each other. They're not totally independent. They all support each other. You'll find that if you're doing really well at one of them, the other ones probably are falling into place too. Okay? So before I move on, any other questions about your center, about balance, about how it's used in the fight, about its importance? Yes?
Do you find yourself in the middle of like a high level, like 5th, 6th round challenge, like just think fire balance? So it's just a reflection that you have just in the way that you just like...
I find myself being aware of my balance the whole time, and especially being aware when I'm losing my balance.
And does that help? Does that help you refocus?
Yes, very much. And it helps me refocus. It helps me also keep the fight together too, when I keep reminding myself of maintaining my balance. It's me falling back on the basic principles of the fight, falling back on basic technique. Even when I'm up there in the finals of Crown, I fall back on those basics frequently. I try and feel them in the fight. If they're not there, I simplify everything that I'm doing to regain that. Every time I do something that's not simple, I'm doing it with intent, trying to maintain the basic principles as I'm doing it, but it's with intent, rather than just trying something new without thinking about its effect on my overall fight. Can I get you to stand up here? So I'm going to add in, as I'm doing these principles, I'm also going to add in at the end the kind of the negative part of the principle, which is losing your balance, okay? Or losing any of the principles. One of the things that you want to be aware of yourself is always be aware of them. Okay? And I kind of feel them there. And when I'm thinking about my balance, I'm not in the middle of a fight kind of thinking, balance? Are my feet in place? Can you give us an extra church? Pause. Is it there? Because you're gonna get kicked. Okay? You're going to be losing your focus. Okay? Because you're busy thinking about the principle. But you need to be aware of it. Okay? And my awareness is more feeling that I'm off balance. Okay? And so when I feel that I'm doing something that, I just went off balance. Okay? I'm allowing my back foot to start moving way up like this. I've allowed my knee to go past my toe. So my balance point isn't down here now, it's down forward. So I'm losing my balance. And maybe I try to kind of, without moving my feet appropriately, in on somebody. Maybe I'm trying to move it and then I put it here. Okay? So I'm losing my balance. What do I do then? Okay? And a good part of these is, as you're losing it, being able to move back into proper form, proper balance, proper focus. So as you lose these things, you need to be aware of it and move back in. One of the best ways to do that is, instead of throwing my shoulders back to get back to my position, is allow myself to flow into the balance. Okay? So here, I'm losing it. I step back up into balance and continue. Okay? It doesn't necessarily move me right into the fight with your opponent, although it can. But it can be, I'm losing it, so I'm going to step over here. I'm going to flow here, and I move a little bit further away from him, and then maybe take a conditional step back here, and then here. So I've moved away to kind of regain myself. Okay? And instead of throwing myself back to get back to where I want to be, I flowed into it to get my balance back. As I'm fighting, I'm also aware of my opponent, whether he's maintaining the principles. Okay? he might be trying the same thing, where he's throwing a blow at me, and I'm moving, and he sees it, so he kind of reaches off balance to try and hit it. Okay? And it's at this point that I block the blow and move into here. Okay? And the reason that I'm doing it is because he's falling forward. Instead of having his shield there to block with, his shield now is probably tighter and down to help compensate for his loss of balance. So he's using it as a counterweight now. And so all of a sudden, this part here is a little more open, and when I throw the blow, he's not going to be able to just smoothly move the shield back up there. Okay? And it's a good thing for all of you to practice. If you're not sure about that, is just standing in position and moving the shield. Okay? Then throw yourself a little bit off balance. Try and move the shield the same way. It's going to be heavier. If you try and move it to the exact place you want it, it's going to throw you off balance. Which is why people kind of tuck it in here and turn it in a little bit tighter. Because right here, there's a block there. I'm over off balance. Try and do that, pulling me even more off balance. So I'm looking for my opponent to be off balance, realizing that their defense is going to be worse. It's not just a matter of the openings, it's a matter of them tightening up their defense to compensate for being off balance. Yes?
Not that you fight my knees much. You schooled me many times in doing the same thing when I'm down on my knees, is that reach as far as the balance compensation.
Right.
As your balance, you don't have as much movement fighting in that position.
Exactly.
You move your balance more towards your chest or still keep it low.
I still keep it low. So I'm down here on my knees. I'm keeping it low. I don't fight squared off like this, but I fight at an angle, so I'm still using my hips. I'm thrusting off. My back foot is here, push off of. Okay? I still have a strong thigh, using my thigh muscles to move my hips. Okay? So my opponent moves out of range. Okay, there, and, okay.
So now your knees became what your toes used to be.
Yeah, and look at my forward knee. As I push my hips forward, pushing off my back leg and my hip, this is sliding forward slide. Okay, just like a slide step. Okay, so he's out of range, but no, it's not.
If someone tries to turn on you, you just keep turning with them?
If they try to do turns, yes. The small shield is all part of the shield too. Okay, so you're talking about like one-step pass? You're talking about circling me or just back?
Well, so someone, you're here at an angle, and so they're coming in like this.
Yeah.
And you just keep turning, and they keep turning. You
Come up with it.
yes, that's how you asked.
Come on, do it to me.
Okay, so you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm just going to keep doing this. Now, that's not really corkscrewing, is it?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it is.
But
So,
I don't care. But it is.
so not trying to corkscrew, you're just trying to get into position. You're moving.
Yeah. Okay, and then do that step again. That time I moved in. Just like technique on foot.
Yes, sir.
When you move in, it moves. Yes, very good.
I noticed also every time that you're shifting that weight to rotate, that's the same motion you have when you're throwing a shot.
Yes.
So every time you're doing that, you have an opportunity to throw a shot on that weight.
Yeah, but again, and again, to go into the principles, as I'm making that motion, I'm moving with my center, okay? I have all my weight down below. I'm not trying to throw my upper body around or lean. I have good form and posture. And other than being able to move with you while you're trying to do that, and moving at the same speed, okay, I'm also keeping good form so that